guys, welcome back to the channel. So this week's video, I wasn't really too sure what I was gonna do. I've been super busy, so I don't have any like crazy things going on. I'm just like working a ton and have a bunch of other stuff going on that I need to like get done that are kind of taking up my minimal free time. I wanted to make this week's video kind of easy, so I figured I was just gonna sit down and talk. And this has been something that I've had on the list of things to like make a video about or talk about. So this is just kind of the week I'm gonna do it. Because I feel like this could help other people if you're going through something similar or have been through something similar, and something I wish I had kind of seen. So you can kind of tell by the title of this video. This is gonna be like advice I wish I was given when going through an emotional breakup. Kind of specific, but I think in general this is something that can really help people. I just kind of talk about where I am with the breakup and everything. I'm gonna really try and not get emotional during this video. Definitely don't want that to happen. We're approaching the 5-month mark since my breakup happened between me and Cole, and we're very quickly approaching what would have been our 2-year anniversary, which would have been a very big milestone for us. Obviously that's not happening. But I'm just gonna kind of talk to you about where I am emotionally and like in my little healing journey, and I'm just gonna talk about things I've done to help myself heal and things I think would be helpful for other people, and advice I wish I really was given that I kind of wasn't, that would have helped me heal a lot quicker, I guess. So let's dive into it. One big thing I learned throughout this whole healing journey is that as soon as you go through something emotional like this, like a breakup, everyone around you thinks they are a love expert and give you all of the advice known to man, from friends, family. That's also from things like social media and from TikTok and all that stuff, because you instantly get on breakup TikTok, you instantly get all the sad sappy posts and ads coming up, so they instantly relate to how you're feeling, and you're just drowned in by so much information and so much advice that it's so hard to process, because you don't know what road to take, because you're getting stuff from everywhere and they all conflict each other, so it doesn't really help you make a decision of what's best for you and what path you should take and what direction you should go, and it just makes things extremely confusing. So that definitely didn't help, because I obviously got stuff from literally everywhere. So my first piece of advice is literally take everyone else's advice with a grain of salt, because in the end, as much as it may be good advice and some of it may be helpful to you, their opinions and their advice don't really matter, because the only person's opinions that really matter in regards to you or yourself, but in regards of the relationship and the breakup, the only opinions that matter are you and your partner or ex-partner, whatever. Because you're the two that are going through it, and you're the two that know your relationship best and, you know, have been through every moment together, and only you two know how you should move on and how you should either continue or not continue a relationship with each other, whether that's romantic or not. So that's something that was very hard for me to realize, because I wanted to listen to everyone and I wanted the help, but because this was my first, like, you know, big breakup, and I didn't know how to handle it, and I didn't know what to do or how to process, but in the end everyone's advice just made things way worse and way more complicated, because I was also afraid of getting judged by everyone of if I was making a decision, was it the wrong decision, was it the right decision, are they going to judge me if I think it's right and they don't, and it was just a big bundle of confusion. So once I started listening to myself and did what I wanted to do and what made me happy, things started to click and get things rolling in the direction I kind of wanted them to. Obviously, with my breakup, I was on tour when it happened, so we were not physically together to go through all of that, so it's not like we just cut off contact right away with each other. We stayed in a lot of contact with each other, and we still do. I mean, we talk to each other in some aspect. I'd say like a couple times a week maybe, and you know, it's not long conversations. It's usually just short little like check-ins or seeing what you're up to type of thing. And we maybe physically see each other and hang out maybe anywhere from like weeks or a month apart from each other at any given time. So we really don't see each other that much, which obviously is not normal. Most people in a breakup do not still hang out with their ex and be friends with their ex. But again, this kind of leads me into my next little bit of advice, is that everyone's relationship is different and every breakup is different. No matter how similar your situation may be with someone else, no two situations are the same. So you need to do what is best for you and what's gonna work for you guys. If you know, really don't want to see each other again and that feeling's mutual, then sure, cut off, no contact, start fresh, and go. That's not really the case with us. Both wanted each other in our lives still. You know, we started out as friends, so like you know, we didn't want to lose that friendship that we had. It's definitely difficult to kind of reel things back and not want to take things too far or like get lost in the romance of everything. So that is something we are still, you know, battling and struggling with and trying to keep in check when we do see each other or anything like that, or have conversations. And that's just gonna take time, and that's okay. I know I struggle sometimes with feeling like I'm making a lot of progress and then taking 3 steps backwards at any given point, because my emotions are like a roller coaster. But Cole's always been really good at reminding me that that is perfectly normal and that's okay to feel that way. And, you know, it's all valid. My feelings are all valid. And so if you're someone that's struggling with stuff like that too, it's okay. It's really okay. Even in life, in like a job setting, you may be progressing super well and, you know, on an uphill climb, and then all of a sudden you get some setbacks, and you know, you have to learn to adapt and overcome them to continue moving forward. So this is really no different. It's just a little more emotions, a little bit more of emotions involved. Okay, I needed to get water because my throat was so dry. Another thing I found very helpful in my own discovery was educating myself on other people's opinions and advice, and which I think is contradicting what I initially said, but just kind of educating myself in different ways and finding a lot of different resources to help me through all of these emotions and have something to kind of ease my mind and like to kind of process my thoughts in. So I got really into reading during this whole little self-healing journey, which I hate reading normally, so that's a big thing for me. So I'm gonna give you some resources that I have read and used or are currently using, and things I would highly recommend that have been really great for me. One of those is the You Are a Badass series by Jen Sincero. I have read 3 out of the 4 books of her series, and started with this one on tour, which is called You Are a Badass. I loved this one the most out of all 3 so far, so I'd highly recommend. It's a self-help, self-love type of series, so I really like how she writes, and it gives me a lot of tips and a lot of just ways to help better yourself and just kind of keep moving forward even in the lowest of times. So this one says How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. Really loved it. And then the next one I read was You Are a Badass Every Day. This is kind of more like little things, like 1 to read a day type of thing. But I read them kind of in bulk, so you just have like, you read 1 every day and it like helps you and like uplifts you, stuff like that, and to motivate you. And then I read Badass Habits, which says cultivate the awareness, boundaries, and daily upgrades you need to make them stick. So this is really good if you have a specific thing you want to improve on or overcome or habit, whatever, in mind. And she kind of takes you through the steps of creating habits to achieve those goals, which is really great. The last one in her series is You Are a Badass at Making Money, which I want to buy next. I just haven't gotten it yet, but I think I have pretty good money skills, but I do still want to read it just to see what she says. Another little thing that I am currently using is this self-love workbook for women. Release self-doubt, build self-compassion, and embrace who you are. So this has little like tasks and like things to write down, and just little like meditation stuff and different little chapters to kind of help you love yourself and heal and do all the type of stuff. One thing it had me do recently that I really liked, and it kind of like clicked more in my brain, was it had you take common scenarios that you may go through in life and take them from the perspective of a friend is coming to you with these issues and what advice you would give them, but apply those to yourself. So you know, they talk about like losing a job, and you know, one of them is about like a breakup and whatever, and they want you to say, well, what advice would you give them? And it's very interesting because it's so easy for people to give advice, but it's very hard to take your own advice. So that I thought was interesting, because when it came to you know, someone saying, oh, I went through this big breakup, whatever, what advice would you give them? Let me read to you what I wrote down. It says, my significant other broke up with me, and I wrote down, what parts of them can you recognize that they weren't the one for you? If it's meant to be, they will come back, but if not, you will find someone that will be an even better match and make you happier. So I thought that was really cool, because that is really great advice in my eyes, to kind of weigh those comparisons and put it in the perspective of no matter what happens, it's all gonna work out for you. Whether you get back together or not, great, because in the end, you're gonna find someone that's gonna be the best match for you. Because I don't doubt my relationship wasn't perfect. We were not perfect. I am not perfect. No one is perfect. There are things that everyone involved can work on, and you know, some of that comes with time and healing and finding yourself and maturing and all that. So I am not going to be the same person I am in 3 years, and vice versa. I'm not by no means going to wait around, and he doesn't want me to wait around for us to maybe get back together one day. It's kind of going to be like, if it happens, it happens. But I think it's good to kind of keep the mindset of like, whatever is meant to happen will, and if that's us, then great, but if not, I'm gonna find someone that's gonna be an even better match for me and make me even happier. Okay, but back on resources, I have another book that I keep in my car just to read when I get to work earlier, and it's a book of poems that I found on TikTok, and it's called Glass Hearts and Broken Promises, and it kind of goes through different sections of healing and then rebuilding self-love, and it's just kind of cool just to read a couple every day. So I've been enjoying reading that in my free time. And another book I definitely want to buy that I also heard about on TikTok is called When You're Ready, This Is How You Heal by Brianna. I'm very into reading. You can find a lot of these resources on Amazon. A lot of them are linked in my Amazon storefront, so you can go and head there if you want to kind of check them out. But there are a lot of really great resources out there if you're someone that reading would help. I also use a lot of podcasts on Spotify for anxiety and, you know, listening to calming music, because I do tend to get very overwhelmed. So listening to stuff like that has really calmed my you know, nerves and my anxiety, and when I'm in any sort of episode like that, they do really help. So I would definitely recommend checking out some of those as well, and just different apps and resources, because there's plenty out there, especially because therapy is something that I have gone back and forth about and just have never pulled the trigger and have never done it, and I don't really know if I want to do it. And so this is kind of my own version of therapy and my way to give therapy to myself. Also, utilize your friends. I am very lucky that I've had so many people in my life, so many friends and people close to me that have been willing to listen and, you know, called and checked up on me and sent me text messages and whatever, and have always been there when I just needed to let out my emotions and just talk something through to someone. They've always been there, and I think that shows who's like really there for you in your life when you're going through something hard, and they're always there to kind of check up on you. So that's been really great, having those resources and knowing those people are there for me. And I think another piece of advice I would give, which you will definitely go through all this, is you're gonna go through every stage of grief known to man, even if you don't you know, think it applies to you. You're gonna be angry, you're gonna be sad, you're gonna be hurt, you're gonna be confused, you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be, you know, just going from laughing to bawling your eyes out, and that is perfectly okay. But I think what's most important is letting all those emotions out and not holding them in, because it's only gonna make you feel worse if you pent all of them up and then you eventually explode. So let them out, have those cries, have those emotional breakdowns, because it's just gonna help you move forward, and it's just gonna help you continue in your healing and your grieving process, which everyone goes through. All right, so let's recap. Let's see, what advice have I given so far in this just giant rant? Everyone else's advice with a grain of salt, to help better understand what you want to do and what's gonna be best for you. Let all those emotions out, don't keep them bottled up, and just go through every stage of grief. Find resources that are gonna help you in your healing and your self-love journey and help you move forward and understand and process everything. And I guess 4 is just know that everything happens for a reason, and in the end, no matter what the outcome is, everything is gonna work out the way it's supposed to. You may not understand it now, you may not understand it in a week, a month, a year, 5 years from now, but eventually it will all work out for you. You just have to keep moving forward and putting yourself first and doing what is best for you, because in the end, or however long you're with someone, the only person that is with you for your entire life is yourself. So it's most important to put yourself first and make yourself happy, because you're the one that has to be there through every step of the way. So create a life that you are proud of and that you can inspire others with. Set goals for yourself and do everything in your power to achieve them. Because relationship or not, there is so much you can offer this world, and this one little setback is not gonna turn your world upside down. It's you just gotta keep moving forward. Okay, that was a long rant. I wrote none of that down, so I had nothing planned of really what to say. It was just kind of rambling, and I'll edit it later. But I hope this was helpful for someone. I always find it really helpful just to kind of talk things out, so I can kind of process things in my brain. So if you or someone you know is going through a similar situation or something really difficult and wants some actual advice of like what would actually help in a situation like this, please like, share, comment this video to any of those people. But thank you all so much for watching. As always, you can hit that subscribe button down below to stay up to date on my latest content. You can also follow me on Instagram or TikTok at Graf100 to stay up to date on the content there. And I'll see you guys next week, Thursday at 6 p.m. Bye.